Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm going to be doing what I think is an open tag to everyone, but I apologise if it isn't. I watch Sarah from Sarah Nightstand's videos. I love her and I love how creative she is with her videos, and she does a series with her friend which is book list Thursdays, and the recent book list Thursday they decided to do a tag which was the Amazon wishlist tag. This was because they were thinking about their birthdays and they decided they were going to try and do a different tag. Now I have done a wishlist tag before but not an Amazon wishlist tag, and I just thought it sounded really interesting, so I hope she doesn't mind that I'm going to do the tag as well, because I just thought it sounded really interesting. Definitely go and check out her video on this. I will link it up here and down here and definitely go and check it out. But there's various different questions all pertaining to your Amazon wish list. I have 3 Amazon wish lists. One is for my Bookopoly, which is where myself and Janet from Swirly Girly Reads buy each other a book every month as part of our sort of yearly challenge. I then have another one that's just got sort of random books on there that I might want from people for birthdays or Christmas. And then I have a third which isn't actually for me, and that's Matilda's list of things for her birthday. So I'm going to use my Bookopoly one because that does have the most interesting and most books on there. So the first question they asked was how many books is on there. I counted and I have 176 books on my wish list. The next question is the book that's been on there the longest. So I have a book that went on there on November 2016, and that is Arabella of Mars by David D. Levine. It's been on there so long now, I'm not sure I even know what it's about. I'm having a look here. It says, ever since Newton witnessed a bubble rising from his bathtub, mankind has sought the stars. When William III of England commissioned Captain William Kidd to command the first expedition to Mars, in the late 1600s, they proved that space travel was now possible and profitable. Now, 1 century later, a plantation in the flourishing British colony on Mars is home to Arabella Ashby, a tomboy who shares her father's deft hands with complex automatons. Being raised on the Martian frontier by her Martian nanny, Arabella is more a wild child than a proper young lady. Something her mother plans to remedy with a move to an exotic world Arabella has never seen, London, England. Arabella soon finds herself trying to navigate an alien world until a dramatic change in her family circumstances forces her to defy all conventions in order to return to Mars in order to save both her brother and the plantation. To do this, Arabella must pass as a boy on the Diana, a ship serving the Mars Trading Company, with a mysterious Indian captain who is intrigued by her knack with automatons. Arabella must weather the naval war between Britain and France, learning how to sail and a mutinous crew if she hopes to save her brother from certain death. That still sounds just as interesting, so I'm pleased that's still on there. The next one is your most recent ad, and for that I've got Secret Ingredients of Wishes, which I put on about a week ago. This is by Susan Bishop Campbell, and I can't remember where I heard about this one. It might have been on like a Pinterest books that you should really read this year. It's about a girl who can grant wishes, and she keeps it secret. She's managed to keep it secret for a long time, and then all of a sudden she grants a really outlandish wish sort of by accident and decides that it's time to leave her hometown and move forward before you know, anybody realizes what she can do. And so she moves to this small town in North Carolina where she is taken in by this old woman who can bake secrets into food. But then I think there's sort of, she makes this small town her home, she meets someone, and then maybe all these wishes start to pile up. I don't know, but it just sounded really intriguing, and so I added it straight to my list. The next question is the genre you have most on there. I definitely have the most fantasy, and predominantly YA fantasy seems to be taking the lead on my wish list. And I think the reason it is because I'm definitely not picking it up as much because I have quite a lot of books already on my shelf in the YA fantasy genre, but it does appeal to me probably the most in terms of what I want to pick up. The next is the most expensive book on your list, and the most expensive book that comes up on my list is How to Make Love Like a Porn Star, a cautionary tale by Jenna Jameson and Neil Strauss. And looking at this here, it says Jenna Jameson's unforgettable memoir is many things at once: a shocking sexual history, an insider's guide to the secret workings of the billion-dollar adult film industry, and a gripping thriller that probes deep into Jameson's dark past. With never before seen photographs from Jenna's private collection, exclusive photos taken for this book, and original cartoon strips, this memoir is an unparalleled exploration of sexual freedom. I just think this sounds fascinating. I'm always fascinated into the lives of other people, especially when they're in really unusual industries. So but apparently that's about £26, so that is the most expensive one on my list. Next is the book with the prettiest cover, and for that it is Queen of Hearts. I definitely think this is just such a beautiful cover. This is by Kimmery Martin. I believe it's the story of 3 women who meet at medical school, and then we're following their lives onwards, and I just think the cover of this is phenomenal. The next question is something that's on your wish list that is not a book. I haven't really got anything on my wish list at the moment. Well, certainly not on this one that isn't a book. So I can't really answer that one. I haven't got anything that I particularly want that isn't a book. Let me think. No, I haven't. Yeah, there's nothing on there that I particularly want that isn't a book. So I'm going to skip this one. The next question they asked is the author that makes the most appearances on the wish list. So have you got an author that appears multiple times? I've got one author that appears 3 times, and that is Mary E. Pearson, and mainly because there is a trilogy of hers that I really want to read, which starts with The Kiss of Deception. I have all 3 books on that wish list because I think I'm going to like it. It's been on there for quite a long time, but I'm looking forward to giving it a go soon. And then the final question was, if you were gifted a gift card now, like what books would you pick off of that wish list? Which ones are you really drawn to at the moment? And I think looking through them, and given the time of year that it's sort of autumnal, it's coming up to sort of Halloweeny, scary time, I think the 2 books that are really calling to me is Karen Slaughter's Pretty Girls. I have yet to read any Karen Slaughter, so I definitely like to read one of her sort of standalone books maybe before I try any others, so that one definitely. And then there's a book called Brothers, which I have heard is quite gruesome and gory but very good. So I would really like to read that one, and I think that's about sort of brothers that live together and murder lots of people. Yeah, so don't quote me on that, but that is definitely one that I have heard is quite dark and disturbing, and definitely probably right for this time of year. So yeah, but I hope Sarah doesn't mind that I've taken this tag and I've done some of the questions, and if you fancy doing it too, I'm sure she won't mind. Fingers crossed. And yeah, I'm just intrigued, like she is, at finding out what's on people's wish lists. I always find it fascinating to see what books people put down, and what people are thinking about, and what the current sort of trends are on books that are going on wish lists. So that's it from me, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.